I'm back again. If you don't know me from before, my name is J.R. Arthur, and I wanted to do a vlog channel that dealt with the mental side of being a creative. So, what did I want to talk about today? What I'm about to say can be a little bit misleading, and it was, does size matter?
Bring the camera a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Just so you know, I did say it. Does size matter? But I need you to clear your head, stay focused, and get your mind out the gutter. This is PG. Strictly PG. There is no adult stuff happening here. So, just keep listening, and you're going to hear what this topic is all about. Let's keep rolling.
And when I say does size matter, I mean in the video space, in the graphic design space, in the elements of what you're doing. And when I say does size matter, it's like how big or how small does your system have to be impressive to your clients? In my opinion, size really doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm doing it again. Last time, I promise. Well, the last time after the next time I do it and say it's the last time. I just want to say you don't have to have an expensive camera or a really expensive computer. In some cases, it might just be a waste of money. Ultimately, it's going to be
how you use it. But if you're dealing with clients, size can play a big role. You show up on a set with a camera that's like this big opposed to this big, and people look at you like, is that all that you're going to be working with today? When I can pull out my iPhone, and in a lot of cases I can record a commercial on my iPhone and the client would never know the difference. But that's being able to use it in a way that makes sense. So what I've been noticing is showing up on set with a bigger system has proved to get calls to do more jobs, just because there's the impression that I can do more because it looks like I have more to work with, opposed to when I have a smaller camera to run and gun. People are like, well, what is he gonna do with this? So typically what I do is I overpack my camera bag, make it look like I have a whole lot of stuff, and I work with what I'm comfortable with. It doesn't mean I can't work a big camera. It doesn't mean I don't have a big system. I pull my laptop out, I have the screen up, I use my monitors, and I'm good to go. But that's for a video setting. Size makes a difference to some clients. In a lot of cases, I feel like it makes a difference to a lot of clients, because if they're paying you a ton of money, they want to make sure they're getting their money's worth, and they feel like the bigger the better. However, in the graphic design space, when I'm sitting at my desk, a bigger computer doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be able to perform better, because I may not need it for what I'm doing. I have a monster of a Mac, and don't get me wrong, I thought it would make everything that much faster, everything that much better, and it doesn't. It just looks more impressive, because in a lot of cases I'm still doing stuff at the same rate I was doing it before. And don't get me wrong, I could do more 3D stuff and things like that, and yes, that's a little bit quicker, but it depends on what you're going to be using it for and who's ultimately going to be in your office space to see your system, especially if you're doing freelance work. If you're doing freelance work, nobody's coming to your house to look at what you have. So it's more of mentally, how do you feel about your equipment? How do you feel about what you're doing? Do you feel like you need something big to make yourself feel like you're doing more? So you have to be comfortable with your work in your own creative space, no matter what the medium is. It's sometimes just knowing how to use the tool that you have. And I'm a big advocate of that. Don't get stuff just because people told you it was going to be better. Get stuff because you've researched it and you go, with this, I'll make better work or better use of this because I can do this. But that's all up here. The shiny toy doesn't do anything for you if you can't turn it on. If you can't adjust the dials, if you can't fine tune it, if you don't know where the audio is, if you don't know what buttons to push, it makes no difference. So you have to be able to focus, get the job done with what you have and in the time frame that you have, and just work the way you've always done it. Do you, regardless of what systems are out there and what you know, can possibly do a little bit more than what you can do. Because at the end of the day, we are the people working the machines and it's working for us. But just remember, that's all in how you think. Prove your client wrong. Prove to yourself that with your iPhone, you can still film something amazing. Prove to yourself with your Sony, you can shoot something amazing. It's all in practice, not necessarily in the size of the equipment. Prove with your laptop, you can do so much, or with your iPad, or with whatever it is that you have. Use the tool that you have to the best possible ability that you can, and let that speak for you. So, when I say this, does size matter? It often doesn't. It matters more for show. Just know how to use what you have, and you'll be perfectly fine, and you'll be perfectly okay. Don't freak out if you don't have something that looks massive or looks super impressive. But know the job that you're going to do. Show up and perform for the job that you have. But that's not necessarily something you need in your everyday workflow. So, get past your own blocks and just keep working. Just keep being great. Make great stuff. Stay creative.
So I didn't interrupt you for the rest of the video. I made it all the way to the end. I didn't cut into it, but there is something I forgot to say. Since this is probably going to be on YouTube or some other social media channel, all I'm asking you to do is like or subscribe to this channel. We'll talk about a lot of stuff about how to get over the hurdles of mental blocks and feeling down at the job, or just how to get through the hard parts of being a creative. That's a lot of what we're going to talk about on this channel. But in case you missed what was the point of this one when I said does size matter, the point was you ultimately shouldn't feel like the size of your equipment matters. Like, if it's bigger, that it's better. Just trust that you do good work and trust your ability to do good work. Because the only thing messing with you is you internally. It's your mental block. It might be maybe an insecurity, or somebody told you that something wasn't right or you needed more. But just trust your ability. If this is something you've been doing and you've been good at it and you produce quality work with the equipment that you had, don't let nobody sway you. Know in your heart and in your mind that you are the creative that drives everything that's going to happen in the projects that you take on. And I'm not saying be cocky or be big-headed, and don't be willing to take people's critiques and criticisms. But what I'm saying is, don't let other people's information get you down and make you feel like you have to go out and spend tons of money to ramp your stuff up. Get what you need when you need it, but just do what you've always done. Produce good work, and everything will work out fine.